Yeah, I mean, how did it manifest itself with you when you've gone through bad times and you were eating too much? What would you do?
It's binging.
Like what, though? I mean, let's have a bit of insight into the binging.
Whatever you like, whether it's fries, pizza, or I love caramel apples.
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah, aren't they good? I mean, I think everything you can have in moderation. To eat healthy is very important, but still, you can have those things in moderation. A little here, a little there. I still eat caramel apples.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're the nicest thing, aren't they?
I love it with nuts. I like them with the peanuts on the outside. Love them.
When we come back, the secret life of a superstar sex symbol.
There was a time when I was so down and felt so unattractive, and it lasted for a very, very long time, that I used to bang my head against the wall.
If your issues with trust, hear me when I tell you this. No one else has shared my love. No one else has got your. Let it go for another day. Let me stop by saying that nothing.
When you were, I guess, reading the book, when you were at your worst in terms of the eating, and you began to hate yourself, you got depressed. I mean, what were you feeling at that time? What made you suddenly think, I've got to get a grip?
Oh, gosh, that's been a few times. Just knowing what I was going through, looking at myself in the mirror, realizing that I'm not myself, or looking in the mirror and not really recognizing the person that I'm looking at. It's like, who is this person? You don't look like yourself. You look like someone completely, a totally different human being. You say, this has got to stop, this madness and being in this depression and yada, yada, yada. And it's been tough, but I've learned to deal with it. I've learned to you know, how to deal with it.
How? What's the trick for people watching this who are going through a similar thing?
Well, it's just not about, okay, how do you stop the eating? It's deeper than that. There are issues behind it. Well, you have to figure out what's creating it first in order to figure out how to stop it. Because it's not just about someone going in the refrigerator and saying, okay, I want this, I want this. There's something behind that. And that's what you have to figure out, get a hold of. And once you deal with that, then it makes everything else a little easier, a lot easier for me.
How depressed did you get?
It was pretty bad. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
What's pretty bad?
It depends, and I only say that because of different stages in my life. When I was a kid, they told me that I started developing at a very young age. They said my chest was too big, so they'd bind my chest for performances. Not my family. This was the very first show that I did, Good Times. They didn't tell me they were going to do this. They just wound up doing it. So right there immediately is telling you you're not good enough as you are. So this is where this stemmed from. How bad did it get? Well, that's kind of where it started. And even before that, when, you know, you have someone calling you names or whether it's a name of endearment. I was the kind of kid that internalized everything. Some people can...
Well, Michael called you Dunk, didn't he? Short for donkey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not very nice.
No, but what... No, it's not. But when it's coming from a family member who means it out of love, it's just fun. They don't realize what it could be doing to you. And especially being the baby, when you have a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters, or even, you don't have to have a big family, but being the baby, you seem to always, a lot of teasing, and you get it more so than anybody else.
But do you think in your case it affected you more than any of them realized? That it was all chipping away?
Yes, this is what I'm getting at. They didn't know. I internalized, I was so quiet, I never told anyone how I felt. I was hurting inside, but I never said anything to anybody about it. And I'd laugh it off like it was nothing, not wanting to show that the pain that it was truly causing. So that's you don't do that. That's not the thing to do. That's what I did, and I kept that up for years. And my life began to change.
You said you've been through this a few times. You know, it's been like a cyclical thing, you know, where your weight's gone up and down, and you've talked openly about this in the book in a very moving way. And there'll be lots of women watching this who've been through similar things in their lives.
But see, it's not just about weight. Pierres, it's about self-esteem. It's about...
And how you're feeling.
Yes, and that's why I started from my childhood, because I didn't want it just to appeal to women or men. I wanted it to appeal to teenagers, to kids, so that they know that they're not alone. And maybe one of these anecdotes that I give them, they can relate to. For instance, in the book I talk about, there was a time when I was so down and felt so unattractive, and it lasted for a very, very long time, that I used to bang my head against the wall.
Really?
Yeah. And
hard?
Yeah.
Literally, like this?
Yeah. And the person that I was with, my ex-husband at the time, I mean, he'd have to stop me. And
what were you thinking when you did that?
I felt
crazy?
No, I didn't feel crazy. I just felt very unattractive. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the way I looked. But once again, all of this stemming from, you're not right. This is how you should be. You're not good enough this way. You're not worthy. You're fraudulent. Whatever the case is, and all of that just building and building and building, accumulating to this point in my life, and that went on for a good while.
Did you ever feel suicidal at all?
No.
Never got that bad for you?
No. No. There may be an instant of, but no, not like that. Not like that.
I've seen you say before that most families are dysfunctional, and I totally agree with that. You take anyone's family and give them the kind of scrutiny the Jackson families had, they'd all look dysfunctional in some way.
But you don't even have to give them that. You take any family, you will find there are issues.
Yeah, that's what everyone has it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The difference is that you've had to, all of you, lead life in this crazy kind of...
Under a microscope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it different to most people.
It magnifies it that much more. It makes it very hard. It's not an easy life.
It can't be.
Everyone thinks, oh, it's so glamorous, it's this, it's that. And like you said, the two sides. People see you as this, and there's no way, and you mustn't have any problems.
I never give it a moment's thought about how I look at all. And a lot of men I know are the same. Mm-hmm. But for you, I've noticed all these magazine covers that come out, this incredible premium that is put on female stars to look 100% all the time. And even when you go out now and try and be normal, of course, there's paparazzi everywhere. Hoping to catch you, looking a bit rough. I mean, the pressure must be enormous.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and I think that's why a lot of the women today, a lot of them swing in that other direction, and they're under-eating. I mean, some of the stories that I hear, which I'm not going to get into, and I'm not going to tell people's tea, but that's
other female stars who just do crazy things.
Yeah, that's not my place to do that. But
without naming names, what are the craziest things you're hearing? Don't name them.
No, I'm not going to name names.
But what kind of thing are they doing?
Oh, I hear about you. Okay, this is the worst. Eating tissue, Kleenex, to fill the stomach, so you're full. Yeah. So that you're full.
People do that?
Yes. So that you're full and that you won't want another bite to eat, and that's what you eat.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And then for the kids to see this and to look up and say, oh, this is what I'm supposed to, this is what I want to look like, or what I'm supposed to look like, and want to go on a diet from a very young age, and not living a life as a kid. I was told at a very young age on the show,